Welcome back, Pokemon fans. Angel of the Night here. We are back again with the Grand Challenge 2025 Part 2, and we're getting into battle number 3. Our opponent here today is going to lead off with a Dragapult and an Indeedee. Looks like it's the male Indeedee. We're going to come in here with our Exeggutor and our Ninetales. Now, of course, with the Ninetales, that is going to be able to set up the Drought, and that's going to intensify the Sun, which means that that's going to activate our Chlorophyll, boosting up the speed of our Exeggutor. The Indeedee, of course, sets up the Psychic Terrain, which is fantastic. That way we don't actually have to swap out to our own Indeedee. And of course, we have the option of going for the Expanded Force here as well, which means that that's going to be able to hit two Pokemon at once and hopefully be able to take out the Dragapult. But I am also debating on going for a Terastallization here, but we'll see what happens. The Ninetales, of course, we are going to select into the Heat Wave, so that way we can hit two Pokemon at once as well, meaning that we can hit these Pokemon approximately 2 times a piece this turn. Okay, Roberto is going to withdraw his Dragapult, sending it back to his team. He's going to come in with his Delphox. Now that's actually a pretty good swap, considering the fact that it is a Fire type and a Psychic type. Now, of course, we are going to go in for the Terastallization here, obviously, because we wanted to withstand any kind of Ghost type moves that may or may not have come in from the Dragapult prior. Now, of course, seeing as how they've actually swapped out, this actually kind of helps us out here with the Delphox. If it does end up going for any kind of Fire type moves, we're actually going to be able to hopefully resist. Now, of course, here comes the Heat Wave, being able to hit the two Pokemon again. And of course, that's actually able to pick up the KO off onto the Indeedee. So now that Indeedee is actually knocked out, that means that there are 3 Pokemon remaining on the opponent's side, and an extremely wounded Delphox. Now, the next Pokemon that comes in is going to be Whimsicott, and usually these little pranksters like to set up the Tailwind, so that way the speed will be boosted on the opposing team for approximately 5 turns. So what we're going to do, we're going to lock into some attacks here. The Tailwind is active, which means that the speed of the opposing side is going to be boosted. And of course there's the Expanding Force coming from their own Delphox, which means that they're picking up the KO off onto the Exeggutor, and of course Ninetales barely holds on with this situation. So with the Ninetales, we're going to go for the Heat Wave, and of course Delphox seems to avoid the attack. Whimsicott does get hit, being able to pick up the KO, which is fantastic. So, unfortunately for us, we've lost our key player, which is the Exeggutor. However, we do still have Sneasler and Indeedee as well. So, it's basically a toss-up here between the two Pokemon as to what we want to bring out. Although, if we did end up bringing Sneasler, I don't think we would be in for a good time. So we're going to come in with our Indeedee here. They're also going to bring back in their Dragapult. Okay, now, we don't actually have to worry about Dragapult when it comes to the Indeedee side if they decide to go for any kind of Ghost-type moves, because obviously we are a normal type. So, pretty much at this point I have to decide, well, am I going to go for a Trick Room? Am I going to go for an Imprison? Am I going to go for Psychic? I'm pretty sure here I decided to go for the whole Trick Room situation just because of their Tailwind. But we are going to go in for the Will-O-Wisp into the Dragapult, so that way we can try to lower the attack stat of that Pokemon. On the opposing side, we are going to see a Terastallization here, and of course it's on the Dragapult itself, and it goes into being a pure Dragon-type Pokemon. Now, the first thing I think of is, oh no, there's going to be some crazy Dragon Darts. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. So, we're going to see one Dragon Dart go into the Ninetales. That's going to be able to pick up the KO, taking us right to 0 HP. And then, of course, the other Dragon Dart, which is its offspring. Imagine firing your young at your opponent, right? But Indeedee does get hit, and of course there's the Heat Wave to finish off the Indeedee, taking it down to 1 more Pokemon remaining. Now, of course, Delphox does get a little bit of Life Orb damage there, and Sneasler is going to be coming out to play. Now, what are we going to be able to do about the 2 opposing Pokemon? Because quite frankly, it's not really looking that good for us. Well, you know what? We've got Rock Slide, and Rock Slide is capable of hitting 2 Pokemon at once. But I think I'm going to scout, and we're going to go for the Protect here, just to kind of see what the opposing side is going to do. Now, of course, the Dragon Darts coming in from the Dragapult obviously is an obvious choice. And Delphox, Expanding Force. I mean, that's kind of a key attack of this Delphox, right? And being a Poison-type Pokemon, that would actually be super effective. So what we're going to do here, we're kind of looking at the stats, we're looking at the Psychic Terrain, we're looking at the Sun, we're looking at the Tailwind. I was really hoping that the Protect was going to be able to take out that whole Tailwind situation, but I decide to risk it here, risk it for the biscuit. We are going to go in for the Protect once again, and it never works out for me. I was really hoping that we would be able to, kind of get past this whole Tailwind situation, but unfortunately we are going to hit by Dragon Darts twice, and that is going to be able to pick up the KO on Sneasler. So unfortunately that is a loss, but yet we had a blast. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the battle there as well. If you did, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Post your comments in the comment section below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.